Assalamu alaikum. We are going to explain active and passive voice today. So first we are going to see the possibilities, which tenses are going to have their passive voice and which tenses are not going to have their any passive form. So coming towards present, we have present indefinite tense. So it's possible that we can make a passive voice sentence for this tense. Like you can see in this example, we drink tea in the evening. First form indicates that it's present indefinite tense, so tea is drunk by us in the evening. We can make passive voice of present indefinite tense. The next tense is present continuous. Okay, that means we are going to have the passive form for present continuous tense. Here you can see this example. We are learning grammar rules. Grammar rules are being learned by us. The third one is present perfect. Again, the OK sign shows that we can have a passive form for this tense, like they have watched a movie has been watched by us. Coming towards the last present tense, that is present perfect continuous tense, and you can see a cross here. That means it's not possible to make passive form of this tense. I have written a sentence here and I have stated no here. That means there is no passive form for present perfect continuous tense. The next one, we have past tense, the four forms of past tense: indefinite, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. So all the three first form, that past indefinite tense, past continuous, past perfect, we can have passive form. You can see the examples here, like we drank tea in the evening. Tea was drunk by us in the evening. This is past indefinite. Another example for past continuous is we were learning grammar rules. Grammar rules were being learned by us. And the third one is past perfect. They had watched a movie. A movie had been watched by, them. But the last one, past perfect tense, it doesn't have any passive form. Then we have the future tense, and in future we also have four types: future indefinite, future continuous, future perfect, and future perfect continuous tense. As you can see, two crosses here, that means there is no passive form for future continuous and there is no passive form for future perfect continuous. For the other two tenses, you can see examples on the right side. Number one is we will drink tea in the evening. This is future indefinite, and the passive form is tea will be drunk by us in the evening. Future perfect, they will have watched a movie. A movie will have been watched by them again. Okay, so you have only two types of future tense: indefinite and perfect, where you can make passive form. Then we have to see different cases. If there is a sentence in which there is no subject is the doer of an action, can you make the passive voice? The answer is yes, you still can make the passive voice. Look at the example: close the door, okay, and let the door be closed. So there is no subject in the sentence, but still you can make passive voice of the sentence. Whereas if you have no object in the sentence, you cannot make passive voice, because in passive voice we need an object that is going to take place of subject. So we have a sentence here: Ali is singing, and the next one is they travel to Lahore. Because singing and traveling, they are two intransitive verbs. So for intransitive verb, we don't have any object, and that means we are not going to have any passive form for these sentences. So remember that if there is no subject, you can make passive voice, but if there is no object, you cannot make passive voice. Then we are moving towards verbs. Like every passive sentence contains third form of the verb, that is past participle, and in generally we call it third form of the verb. Look at the passive sentences here on the right side. The thief was caught by the police. Caught is the third form or past participle. Let the window be closed. Again, closed is the past participle here. So almost all passive sentences have by or be, except in the statement sentences where we omit subjects. Omit means remove subjects. So look at these sentences, you have by and then be here. And coming towards the third one, the terrorists were killed in the encounter. After encounter, we have a full stop, and we did not go for the original subject, like the terrorists were killed in the encounter by the police. If we have written by the police, then obviously we need by, but there is no subject, so we don't have any by or be in this sentence. Okay, so statement sentence without subject is possible. Now we are moving towards rules for conversion, change in pronouns and auxiliaries. Auxiliaries means helping verbs, okay? So now first of all, look at the left hand side where we are talking about pronouns. So here we have pronouns in the nominal or subjective case like I, we, you, he, she, it and they. And here on the right side, I will become me when you are going to put it on the place of object. We becomes us, you becomes, you still will be you, he will, for he you are going to write him, she, her, it will remain the same and they will become them, okay? And now we are moving towards auxiliaries. Auxiliaries means helping verbs. So girls, as I have already told you that every passive sentence contains third form of verb, that means we are going to change only auxiliaries or helping verbs every time. So first of all, we are going to talk about simple present. Simple present also means present indefinite tense. So in simple present, we don't have any helping verb, but in case of negative and interrogative sentences, we write do and does. So whenever you see do or does in an active sentence, you are going to use is, am, are in the passive sentences accordingly. And when we have present continuous tense, that means we are having helping verbs am, is and are. So you are going to change this into am being, is being and are being. And afterwards you are going to write the third form of the verb. Then we have the present perfect tense.
It's 12 o'clock.
That means the helping verbs are has and have. So simply you're going to add been after has and have. Okay? And then third form of the verb. Moving on to the next tense, that is simple past. In simple past, we don't have any helping verb in the statement sentences. So we have negative and interrogative sentences and we use did there. So whenever you see did in an active sentence, you are going to replace it with was or were according to the new subject. And then past continuous, the helping verbs are was and were. So you are going to add being after was and were. For past perfect, the rule is that the helping verb is had, so you are going to add been after had. And in future, we have two tenses. So simple future means future indefinite, and the helping verbs are will and shall. And normally we use will because shall is no longer in use. So you will simply write will be and shall be here. And the next one is can, may, must. What are these? Modals. So for modals, you are simply going to add be after all the modals. Okay, now here are some examples. You can see that there are some active voice sentences and then we have passive voice sentences. So the type of sentences that I have written here are statement sentences. Statement means that they declare something, they make a statement and they end at a full stop. So look at the first one, I ate the strawberry pie. The strawberry pie was eaten by me. I bought a Honda car. A Honda car was bought by me. So simply you are going to change places of subjects and objects and you're changing helping verbs. Plus, you're using the third form of the verb in the passive sentence. It's just like that. And at the end, you are still having full stop. And now we are moving towards how to convert imperative sentences into passive voice. First of all, what are imperative sentences? Imperative sentences are those in which you make any order, command, or request. So look at these examples. Carry it home. Here you don't have any subject. Do it at once. Open the door. Throw the ball. So what is special about imperative sentences is that you don't find any subject here in the sentences. So all you have is a verb, that is transitive verb, and then an object, okay? So you can see all these sentences, whenever we convert them into passive voice, we start with let it be carried home, let it be done at once, let the door be opened, and let the ball be thrown. So after let, you put the object in place of subject here, and then you complete your sentence. The third type is conversion of interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences means question sentences where you have a question mark at the end of a sentence. Remember that all the tense changes, all the pronoun changes will remain the same. All you have to do is to maintain the interrogative form. So, do you love him? Here, the passive voice of this sentence is he loved by you. So, you can see that in place of do, you have written is. Okay, so the question form is still maintained for all these sentences. Now you can read all these sentences and you can see how the question form is maintained in all these sentences. Okay, and then the next one is conversion of sentences with modal verbs. What are the modal verbs? Can, could, may, might, shall, should. All these are modal verbs. So all you have to do is to add be, after the modal verb. She can help you, you can be helped by her. He could solve this sum could be solved by him. So, whenever you have a modal in a sentence, just add be there, and then complete your sentence. And then there are some sentences for you to practice. Just take a picture, practice these sentences, and learn how much you have learned about active and passive voice conversion. Thank you.